Anthony Davis just got paid the richest contract extension in NBA history, locking him up with the Los Angeles Lakers until 2028. But some fans instantly showed that they weren't a big fan of this deal, saying things like Anthony Davis won't play more than 50 games this year, or that he will miss time because of an injury signing the contract and pulling on his new necklace. All jokes aside, it's pretty safe to say that Lakers fans have some mixed emotions about this extension. I mean, LeBron is only getting older, and although this team does have a solid cast of role players, they wouldn't be able to win a championship without both of their stars, right? The concern here is honestly pretty valid, and with the injury history of Anthony Davis, there were definitely some red flags with this deal. But what if I told you that this contract changes everything for the Lakers? Because now we could see this team make a massive change to their roster sooner rather than later, which could ultimately lead to them getting a championship or crashing down to a rebuild and losing some of their best players. When the AD extension went down, there were quite a few Lakers fans ranting about Davis's injury history and how much they paid him. But honestly, this just isn't true. Sure, it's the richest extension in NBA history, but these contracts only continue to go up year after year because of inflation and the NBA generating additional revenue. Next year, someone like Jokic will probably sign a deal for $400 million, and I mean, we just saw Jaylen Brown sign a $300 million deal as well. Is this type of money way too much for players in the minds of the fans? Yeah, but obviously the more money the league is generating, the more money the players get paid. As far as injuries go, obviously Anthony Davis has suffered his fair share. Here are all the major injuries that AD has suffered since joining the Lakers. Obviously this isn't ideal, and some of these injuries were pretty lengthy, but people on Twitter are blowing this way out of proportion. Anthony Davis has actually played more games than guys like Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Joel Embiid in the last 7 seasons. Sure, this is a specific number, but it does show that Anthony Davis isn't an outlier when it comes to NBA stars getting injuries. He's no Giannis Antetokounmpo who's basically on the floor at all times, but the point is people are blowing this way out of proportion, and AD isn't actually that injury prone. Obviously, the Lakers knew this too, which is why they signed him to a $186 million extension over the next 4 years. But it's not like the Lakers had a choice either. I mean, this team just made it to the Western Conference Finals, and it seems like they have a very solid core moving forward. And on top of that, what do you think would happen if they offered Anthony Davis anything less than a max extension? Sure, he won a chip for LA, and sure, he's boys with LeBron, but obviously if they lowballed him, there's a good chance that he got insulted and left the team. But what does this mean for the Lakers? I mean, not much has changed for their roster, but going forward, what does this extension mean for the team? Well, even though it might not seem like it, this extension actually changes the Lakers' entire future and the landscape of the NBA. Because, well, to put it simply, the Lakers are now Anthony Davis's team. With this deal, AD is the franchise guy in LA for at least the next 5 years, and this creates a big problem that the team will need to fix as soon as possible. Because even when AD is at full strength and is dominating the game, there are times when he completely disappears and looks like nothing more than a role player. And to put it bluntly, this man kind of has a tendency to disappear in some of the biggest moments. Taking a look back at the Lakers' recent playoff run, AD had quite a few games where he just wasn't there. In the first round against Memphis during games 2 and 4, AD combined for just 8 of 27 from the field. When matching up against Golden State in game 2, AD went just 5 for 11 with only 7 rebounds. And in the Western Conference Finals against Denver, Davis shot just 10 for 30. Only one of those 5 games I just mentioned was a Lakers win. And honestly, Davis's inconsistency during the playoffs became so predictable that teams started to game plan against it and actually beat the Lakers because of it. Because this man was quite literally only a great player every other game. Obviously, this is a massive problem for the Lakers, because Davis is supposed to be their #1 guy after LeBron James is out of the picture. And not only is he too inconsistent at the moment to be that guy, but even if he was at that level, the Lakers would still need at least one more star player to help him win a championship. So yes, the Lakers need to make a trade to help get Anthony Davis some star power while also not not gutting their entire roster in the process. And as much as this is about AD, LeBron will actually have the biggest impact on who the Lakers can get and if they'll be able to bounce back and stay competitive after he retires. And as of right now, it sounds like James might not actually leave the Lakers after all. The Lakers' plan for years was to help LeBron contend for a championship until he was ready to leave the team and join whoever drafts his son, Bronny James, because in the words of LeBron, that's the one thing he wants to do before he retired. But just a couple weeks ago, Bronny James suffered cardiac arrest in his practice at USC, which might ultimately throw a wrench in LeBron's career plans. Obviously, there's still a chance that Bronny makes the NBA and plays with his father, but on the other hand, if this is a serious issue, there's a chance that we see Bronny James walk away from basketball for his own safety. If this happens, LeBron will likely play out his last contract until 2025 and retire as a Laker. Since the Bronny incident, there have been multiple reports saying that LeBron will now likely finish his career with LA, so there's a decent chance that they know something about Bronny that we don't. And if this is truly the case, the Lakers are in a pretty sticky situation. LeBron is only getting older and older, and although this team has just made a solid postseason run, the duo of AD and LeBron might not have what it takes to win at the highest level in 2025 and beyond. LeBron is also on a huge deal, making over $47 million in his last season, so the Lakers really have no way to sign or trade for a star on AD's timeline until LeBron leaves. This really only leaves the team with one option, and although a lot of fans might not like it, the best option for this team for their future is actually trading LeBron James. Even though Bron and AD might not have what it takes to win a championship in 2025, LeBron has showed no signs of slowing down, and if plugged into the right roster, could be the missing piece to help a team win a championship. So with that being said, let's explore a few LeBron trades that also get the Lakers a young star they need for their future. Getting into the first package, the Lakers send off LeBron James to the Cavs in exchange for Donovan Mitchell and cap filler. Honestly, this deal makes too much sense. LeBron goes back to Cleveland for a farewell tour and tries to help this young elite roster win a championship one last time. And for the Lakers, they get Donovan Mitchell, who has already made it very clear that he wants to play for a large market and doesn't necessarily want to stick around in Cleveland. So we could very well see Mitchell demand out if things flop big time in Cleveland next season. Mitchell has been very successful with big men such as Rudy Gobert and Jared Allen, so the duo of Mitchell and AD could do some very big things in the future. And the Lakers get off of LeBron's big contract while also getting a young star in the process. The Lakers might have to include some picks if LeBron confirms it's his last year playing, because for the Cavs, that's literally a one-year rental. But at this point, we really don't know how long LeBron intends to play for, so you never know. He could sign a 2-year extension with the Cavs, or honestly return to LA on a cheap deal after that year's over. How about a reunion in Miami though? In this deal, the Heat get LeBron James, the Lakers get Trae Young, and the Hawks get whatever assets and young players the Heat are willing to give up. Obviously, we don't know if guys like Tyler Hero will still be on the roster next summer, but if they are, a 3-team trade could potentially work. LeBron gives the Heat a big 3 with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo if they don't make a move for Damian Lillard. The Hawks move on from Trae Young and get elite young talent from the Heat, and the Lakers get a star guard in Trae Young to play alongside AD. Is Young the perfect fit for Davis, or even enough to make this team a true contender for the next 5 years? Probably not. But the team is better off going for someone like Trae rather than losing LeBron for nothing, whether it's in retirement or him joining the team that Bronny gets drafted to. The goal for the Lakers should be simple: get a younger star for AD if the team does anything less than make the finals next season. And if they don't do this, well, we could see the team go into a rough period where they only have Anthony Davis as their star and LeBron James is retired, which I'm sure most Lakers fans don't want to go through again. But LA actually isn't the only team who has a big problem with their roster. The Celtics, who we mentioned earlier, could actually lose one of their big stars because of Jaylen Brown's new massive contract. Click here to watch that and see why we could see Jason Tatum in a new jersey sooner rather than later.